Wouldn't you know it? You're on a friendly little trip through time with 4 of your best friends when suddenly, zap! Your magic carpet ship is attacked by Kublai, the second in command to the evil Zen zombie. Now your friends are prisoners in another world, another time. It is up to you to get them out. But with Zen Zombie's followers everywhere, this is going to be a pretty amazing task. Get it? Amazing? You know, because it's amazing. Alright, you know what? I didn't even write that one, okay? This was read word for word from the manual, so you can't blame me this time. This is Cratermaze, a game in Japan originally based around a popular children's character. After being brought to the US, however, many of these characters, items, and even the music were changed. The object is to work your way through different periods of time over the course of 60 levels. In order to defeat each level, you must find all of the treasure boxes, collect the key, and then exit through the door of time. Aside from treasure, each level has a bunch of Zen Zombies cronies running around. Luckily, you are equipped with a shovel and are really good at digging craters. You shovel well. You shovel very well. When an enemy is near, you dig a hole. He falls in, then bam! Morbid? Perhaps. But it's freaking satisfying as hell. Collecting shovel icons increases the number of holes that you can dig. As usual with these types of games, there are also enhancements you can find, some temporary, some permanent. Items that appear after an enemy is destroyed include the bomb, the enemies at half speed icon, the freeze everything stopwatch, and even more. Some items are just laying around like a bubble gun, freeze gun, yo-yo, and speed up icons. Speaking of your character's speed, he tends to move a little too slow at the beginning. Once you find those roller skates, however, you no longer creep about at the pace of a snail, thank God. Watch out though, because the faster you go, the more cocky you become. This can lead to trouble. The first half of Cratermaze will surprise you because it has a lot of neat little touches. One minute you're bouncing around on springs, the next you're warping all around the stage. It can be a little easy at times, but I found the variety level to be quite high. The second half, however, ended up the same as the first with just different mazes. This is a shame because Cratermaze is really, really addicting and could have used a little more in the second half. The game utilizes a passcode system, or automatically saves your progress using the internal memory of the CD-ROM or Turbo Booster Plus. You can select the last stage you completed or backtrack to previous ones. This selection also gives you a chance to play them all in difficult mode. Let's talk about difficult mode for a second because in Cratermaze, this alternate level adds a ton of stuff. There are a bunch of new enemies and the number of them has increased. Some can't even be destroyed. You will also notice doors blocking certain areas that you can open, close, knock an enemy down with, or, oh yeah, knock yourself down with. You can also fall in your own craters, so you have to fill the holes before you move on. Ah! Son of a... There are some other surprises as well, making the difficult mode almost a different game altogether, which is great if you're a fan and want something more. The graphics in Cratermaze are quite pleasing for this type of strategy/puzzle/overhead game. They are extremely TurboGrafx colorful and have some great little landscapes. Things repeat themselves a bit often, but I find it all works pretty well. The cutscenes and comic book panel storytelling is also a nice touch. Cratermaze shines in the sound department. The music is very fun and toe-tapping-ish. I have to admit, finding a sick pleasure in hearing the wham sound you get after putting an enemy into his grave. The rest of the effects are average, but I really think the sound in this game is a bright spot indeed. The control is very easy to pick up and play. Button 2 digs the holes, allows use for some items, and also refills the craters. Button 1 drops bombs or other enhancements, as well as activates the doors that are present in the difficult mode. All of these movements, as well as the directional pad which weaves your character around the maze, happen instantly, and I have no real control complaints. Cratermaze is a really fun little game. The 60 stages fly by pretty quickly, and you won't toss your controller around the room in any kind of frustration. Things can get a bit manic at times, but the game overall is not that difficult. The enemies are well spread out, the key is never far away from the last treasure box, the level is timed, but I don't remember this being a problem, and the bosses don't put up much of a fight. With that said, the difficult mode increases most of the game by a large factor with 60 extra stages. There is also an expert mode that you can unlock. This adds to the game's replay value and helps to boost up any negatives. A 2-player mode would have been nice, but even with a single player, this is a fun game to just pick up and play. Cratermaze is one of the many overhead puzzle-like games making an appearance on the TurboGrafx. Luckily, it stands out with addicting gameplay, a nice look and sound, and a good variety in at least half of its 60 stages. The difficult mode adds to the replay value, sneaking in a new version of the game onto the same TurboChip. You know, I like this one. It's not amazing, but it is a lot of fun.